Life doesn't wear people down only because they lack money, and it doesn't break their hearts only because they have failed a few times. What slowly exhausts so many people is living for too long before realizing the things they should have understood much earlier. There are lessons that if we had learned them a few years sooner, we would not have placed our trust in the wrong people. We would not have held on to relationships that had already lost their meaning for too long. We would not have let ourselves live only to please others. And we would not have allowed the best years of our lives to slip away in confusion, hesitation, and regret. So many people move through life driven by passing emotions, by rushed decisions, by the fear of being judged, by the habit of procrastination, and by the comfort of the present moment, while forgetting the price they will have to pay later. They choose silence when they should be changing. They choose to hold on when they should let go. They choose to chase after others instead of returning to themselves. And then one day, after going through too much pain, too many mistakes, too many disappointments, they suddenly come to realize something heartbreaking. Some of life's lessons are not gentle at all. They are only truly remembered after a person has paid for them with time, with tears, with trust, with youth, and sometimes with their inner peace itself. People will eventually understand that their worth does not lie in the approval of others. Discipline will always matter more than inspiration. Letting go of the right people is more important than trying to hold on to a relationship that was wrong from the beginning. And living true to yourself will always be more valuable than living to please everyone else. In this journey, we will walk through 15 major lessons in life. These are not empty pieces of advice, and they are not just pretty words meant to sound good. These are truths that people usually only understand after they have stumbled many times, after they have lost enough, after they have hurt for far too long. And maybe today, when you hear these things, you will not have to learn them in such a painful way. Not everyone can see your true worth, and not everyone who stays by your side truly values you. There are people who clearly know how good you are, how sincere you are, and how hard you have tried. Yet they still choose to take you lightly. They still choose to hurt you, simply because they believe you will always be there, always stay silent, always endure. That is why so many people live for years while being treated as if they have no value. And the painful lesson is this: if you cannot see your own worth, others will find it very easy to look down on you. Knowing what you deserve is the very first step toward living a life where you are no longer taken for granted. One of the greatest signs of maturity is when a person stops blaming circumstances, stops blaming other people, and stops waiting for someone to come and save their life. The truth is, the life you have today was shaped by the choices you made yesterday. Maybe you have made mistakes. Maybe you have delayed too long. Maybe you chose the wrong person. Maybe you took the wrong path. But if today you are clear-minded enough to look back, then today can also be the day everything begins to change. No one can live your life for you. No one can carry all the consequences for you. And no one can rebuild your life except you. The moment you stop blaming that is the moment you truly begin to grow up. So many of us keep waiting for the right time, waiting until we feel confident enough, waiting until we are good enough, waiting for everything to be perfect before we begin. But life does not reward those who wait too long. It only makes way for those who dare to move first. The truth is, no one is ever completely ready. Confidence does not come before action. It comes after you dare to try, dare to fail, dare to fix what went wrong, and dare to keep going. If you keep standing still because of fear, you will remain trapped inside your own limits forever. Some doors only open when you start knocking, and some changes only appear when you stop overthinking and start taking action. There are things in life that hurt more the tighter you hold on to them, not because they are too important, but because they stopped belonging to you a long time ago. It could be an old relationship, an old memory, an old failure, or an old version of yourself that you still have not found the courage to leave behind. But the truth is, you cannot hold on to something new when your hands are still clinging to what is already gone. Some doors do not open because you are still standing there, facing the past. Letting go is not weakness. Letting go means understanding that some things end not to take something away from you, but to return to you a new path. Not everyone who walks beside you truly wants to see you become better. Some people appear often. They talk to you every day. They stay close to you through many moments. But their presence does not always mean sincerity. Some people come to support you, to remind you to live better, to help you become stronger after your weakest moments. But others come only to drain your energy, take your time, and slowly wear you down without you even noticing. When you walk with the right people, the long road feels lighter, and the soul feels less tired. So in this life, choosing your companions is just as important as choosing the path you will follow. Not everyone who is suffering truly wants to change. Some people complain a lot. They cry for help again and again. They make you feel sorry for them over and over. But deep inside, they do not want to step out of their own darkness. They do not want to save themselves. They only want someone to stay with them inside their negativity. If you are not clear-minded enough, your kindness will become the very thing that drains you. You can love someone. You can feel compassion for someone, but you cannot live their life for them. You cannot grow on their behalf, and you certainly cannot save someone who refuses to save themselves. Maturity is when you understand. Kindness is precious. But not everyone deserves to go too deeply into your sacrifice. So many people want to change their lives, yet they keep underestimating the things they do every single day. They wait for one big breakthrough, one big opportunity, one powerful burst of motivation. But the truth is, the future is not created by a few moments of excitement. It is created by the habits you repeat every day. How you live today, how you eat, what you think, what you do, whether you choose procrastination or discipline, all of it is quietly building your life. Discipline is not forcing yourself to live a miserable life. Discipline is choosing what matters most instead of what feels easiest right now. A better life does not begin with inspiration. It begins with the right habits practiced long enough, without first going through pain. No one becomes strong without once falling apart. Failure is not the end, many times. It is simply life's way of forcing you to stop and look at yourself again. There are lessons that cannot be learned through advice. They can only be learned through stumbling, through loss, through long, exhausting nights when you no longer know how to keep going. But it is often in those very moments that people begin to understand themselves more deeply. They begin to see what truly matters. They begin to see who is sincere. They begin to see what within them needs to change. Hardship is not always there to destroy you. Sometimes it appears to shape you into a stronger version of yourself. One of the hardest things in life is learning how to accept. To accept that not everything is fair. Not every loss comes with an explanation, and not everything we try so hard to hold on to will stay with us until the end. There are pains you cannot fix. You can only walk through them. There are truths you do not want to believe, but the more you resist them, the more exhausted you become. Peace does not come when life is free from storms. Peace comes when you are strong enough to accept that there are some things you simply cannot change. That is what maturity looks like. It is not about winning everything. It is about bowing your head before the truth and still choosing to move forward. Your outer life is often guided by your inner world. If your mind is always filled with doubt, negativity, and fear, then even an ordinary day can begin to feel like a burden. Many times, what drains us the most is not our circumstances. It is the negative stories we keep repeating to ourselves. And words are the same. Just one careless sentence can wound a heart, can crack a relationship. If you want life to feel lighter, learn to keep your mind brighter and let your words become warmer, wiser, and kinder. So much sadness in life does not come from the truth itself. It comes from caring too much about the eyes of other people. We fear being laughed at. We fear being judged. We fear not being accepted. But the truth is, not everyone understands you well enough to decide your worth. Some people see only a very small part of your life, yet still make you question your entire self. Living that way is exhausting. It makes it easy to lose direction and easy to lose yourself. At some point, you have to learn to keep walking without constantly looking back to see what the world thinks of you. Because true freedom begins the moment you stop living to satisfy other people's eyes. When a person does not know how to respect themselves, it becomes very easy for others to cross their boundaries. They stay silent too often. They endure for too long. They try to please everyone. And in the end, what they receive is exhaustion and emptiness. Kindness is a beautiful thing, but if your kindness has no limits, you will slowly lose yourself. There are times when saying no is necessary. Silence is necessary. Walking away is necessary too. Not because you are cold-hearted, but because you have finally understood. Protecting your self-respect is also a way of loving yourself. No path worth taking is ever completely easy. Every long journey has moments of exhaustion, moments of discouragement, moments when you want to stop, simply because you cannot yet see the result. But the people who do not give up too soon are the ones who go farther than others. Life does not always reward those who move fast. It often gives its rewards to those who are persistent enough to keep going. Maybe you are moving slowly. Maybe today you still have not reached where you want to be. But as long as you have not stopped, there is still hope. Sometimes, continuing forward even slowly is already a form of strength. Time is something everyone has, but no one can keep. it passes very quietly. So quietly that many people do not even realize they are losing it every single day. We often think we still have plenty of time, plenty of chances, so we keep postponing, keep saying tomorrow, keep putting it off for another moment. But life makes no promise that every opportunity will come back a second time. There are days that once gone are gone forever. There are people who leave, and by then, it is already too late. There are dreams that if left for too long slowly grow cold with the passing years. When you truly understand how precious time really is, you begin to live more deeply, more consciously, and with greater gratitude for what you still have. Even when life feels very dark, very exhausting, very hopeless. Do not forget this. Things can still change direction. No one is meant to stay trapped forever inside an old version of themselves. Sometimes, all it takes is one right decision, one different way of thinking, one brave action for life to begin turning a new page. Hope is not waiting for a miracle to happen. Hope is choosing to keep moving, even when your heart is still full of wounds. And maturity is not just becoming better at enduring pain. It is knowing how to change, knowing how to rise again, knowing how to pull yourself out of the place that is hurting you. As long as you still want to begin again, life has not closed all its doors on you. This life is not only a journey to make a living, and it is not only a series of days spent in haste, exhaustion, and worry. Deeper than all of that, life is a journey through which we gradually come to understand what truly matters, what should be kept, what should be let go, who deserves to stay, and who we need to become after all the stumbles we have gone through. The greatest pain is not that we once fell. It is falling again and again. Some people spend many years just to understand one truth their hearts should have realized much earlier. So, living is not merely existing. Living is learning. Learning to wake up, learning to grow, and learning not to repeat the unnecessary pain all over again. When a person truly understands their own worth, knows how to take responsibility for their life, knows how to choose the right people to walk beside them, knows how to keep healthy boundaries, knows how to take action, and knows how to stay persistent through hard days, then their life will not only become better, it will also become more peaceful. Because true peace does not come from a life without storms. It comes from the fact that something inside you has become strong enough not to collapse before the very things that once wounded you. And that is the most beautiful kind of maturity. Not loud, not showy, but deep enough, strong enough to keep a person standing firm in the middle of life. Maybe today, you are still not where you want to be. There are still unfinished things, still wounds, still regrets you have not yet found words for. But that does not mean your life is already too late. As long as you are still clear-minded enough to look back, brave enough to change, and hopeful enough to keep moving forward, then every lesson that once caused you pain will one day become strength that helps you grow. No one has a perfect life, but everyone can choose to live more deeply, more firmly, and in a way that is more worthy of who they truly are.